one of the most outspoken members of Congress, not afraid to take on the president. We welcome Democratic Congressman Ted Lieu from Torrance. Welcome to The Issue Is. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
All right, so we just saw quite an explosive interview from Dana Rohrabacher, your fellow congressperson. He was talking about the Russia investigation and made the comment that the DNC hack may have been an inside job. Take a look at what he just said.
So we know it was an inside job, and we know there are several people in working in the DNC at that time who were disgruntled because they knew that the DNC was breaking its own rules by undermining Bernie Sanders' campaign.
Is that true? Any evidence of that?
No, not at all. Dana Rohrabacher is certainly entitled to believe whatever he wants to believe, but here are the actual facts. The American intelligence community came together, issued a report that said Russia interfered in our elections, and specifically they gained access to DNC networks in 2015 and maintained that access all the way to the middle of June 2016. And just a few days ago, the Republican-controlled Senate Intelligence Committee confirmed that report.
So where do you think this is coming from with him?
So public reporting has it that the FBI actually warned Dana Rohrabacher that Russia was trying to use him as an agent of influence, that he was so close to Russia they had a code name for him. That's where Dana Rohrabacher is coming from. Those are the facts. I don't know why he's that close to Russia, but it is what it is.
So another thing that he talked about was the issue of family separation. He said no amnesty under any circumstances, turn everybody back. He said that the Dreamers don't deserve any sort of pathway to citizenship. What's your view on this?
His views are out of touch with Californians, and they're also legally problematic. So the reason that you can't turn people away at the border when they enter U.S. soil is because of U.S. Constitution, specifically the 14th Amendment, which says that all persons have due process of law, not just citizens. That's why they're entitled to file legal asylum claims. That's why they get due process. So unless you change the Constitution, you can't do what Dana Rohrabacher wants.
And on the issue of family separation, such a hotbed issue, what do you do about all these people that are coming here?
So first of all, Homeland Security Secretary Nielsen needs to resign. She had no plan for this at the beginning. Over 2,000 babies and kids were ripped away from their parents, put into these detention centers, and no tracking. So you have infants and little kids who can't identify who their parents are. Some of them may never be reunited. This is the functional equivalent of kidnapping. It's horrific.
Do you think she's going to? I mean, I know several members of the Democratic Party are calling for that.
So I believe what Abraham Lincoln said was absolutely right, that public sentiment is everything. With it, nothing can fail. Without it, nothing can succeed. We just saw Scott Pruitt resign. So if there's enough public outrage, I think Secretary Nielsen will resign.
And speaking of public sentiment, you're very aggressive on social media, oftentimes attacking the president. We pulled some of your most aggressive tweets. One of them reads, President Trump, you are truly an evil man. Your job is to help Americans, not intentionally try to destroy lives. Another one says, don't be fooled. An expensive, wasteful, stupid border wall with a happy face on it is still an expensive, wasteful, and stupid border wall. Why take on the president in this way? Is this the best use of your time? And why the over-the-top tweets?
Because one of my duties is to be a check and balance on the executive branch. And unfortunately, the Republicans in Congress have failed in that constitutional oversight duty. In addition, the president, when he says things are not true, I believe that he should be called out on it. And my view is we cannot normalize what should not be normalized.
One of the issues that I brought up with Congressman Rohrabacher was, what have you accomplished in your time in Congress? So I asked that same question to you. What have you accomplished during your time in Congress?
Sure. So in my first cycle, first 2 years, I passed over 7 bills that were written into law, either as an amendment or attached to another bill or standalone. And many of them were with bipartisan support. You have to do that in a Republican-controlled Congress. And this year, we've been able to pass some amendments as well. So I'm pleased with my legislative side. And right now, I'm just trying to be a check and balance on the executive branch.
What would you like to see President Trump do in terms of the Supreme Court?
Well, I would like President Trump to listen to what Senate Leader Mitch McConnell said just a couple years ago during the Merrick Garland nomination. He said that the American people deserve to have a voice in the selection of the next Supreme Court justice. And then Mitch McConnell held that nomination open for nearly a year for the next election to happen. Our next election is less than 5 months. I think that's when we should be looking at a Supreme Court justice.
Did you agree with that when Mitch McConnell said it?
No, I did not. But now they set that precedent, I think we should be consistent.
Really? I mean, if it was wrong then, why isn't it wrong now?
Well, because he set the precedent. Just as I opposed removing the filibuster for nominations. I think Harry Reid actually made a major mistake. I opposed it at the time. But once he did that, we now follow that precedent. So I think we should follow Mitch McConnell's precedent.
Okay. It is the July 4th week. We
Yes.
just talked to Congressman Rohrabacher and asked him to say something nice about you. He said that you're very tough and a good advocate for your side. Do you have anything nice to say about him?
I do. I think he's absolutely right on legalization of marijuana. In fact, we've worked together on the legalization of cannabis, and I think that is what the future is going to hold, and I'm pleased that California has gone forward and passed a ballot measure to do just that.
Okay. You ready to have some fun?
Yes.
Okay, we do something called personal issues. This is where we take 30 seconds and get to know you a little bit. So we're going to put 30 seconds on the clock, and here we go. Favorite type of music?
80s music.
80s music. Do you have a favorite song?
Invincible by Pat Benatar.
Okay. Last book you read?
Tuesdays by Maury. I actually reread that.
Oh, it's a great book. Do you have a favorite holiday?
I do. I like Veterans Day.
Nice choice. One thing you'd bring to a deserted island?
A strawberry pie from Maria Callender's.
Okay. Best thing about being a Californian?
The weather, the environment, the people.
Do you have a favorite book?
Don Quixote.
Nicely done. All right, I'm struck by your 80s music thing. Why Invincible by Pat Benatar?
So growing up in Ohio, she also is from there, and I just like Pat Benatar's songs. I mean, I like a lot of her songs, actually. I happen to like that song the most.
Okay.
So.
Does our audio people, let's see how quick they are. There they are.
Look at that.
There it is. You ready to dance? Do you have a song? Do you do anything with
Oh,
it?
you can't see me dance.
Okay. Just nod the head. Feels good. Congressman Ted Lieu, thank you so much. Good to
Thank
see
you.
you. Enjoy the music as we go to break.